So I asked a crazy question. Can you live on a Nautilus for 100 days in Minecraft? Imagine spawning into a brand new world. No tools, no weapons, no armor, and you're stuck to a Nautilus. Could you really survive 100 days? Everyone told me it was impossible. What actually happened was not what I expected. The adventures with the Nautilus started on day 1. I've never ridden a Nautilus before, so I'm trying to get used to how it moves. Apparently, it has a boost that can propel it out of the water. Wondering how far I can jump, I did some experimenting. I can jump over this. There we go. So I jumped over like 4 or 5 blocks. Okay, first thing we need is wood. Jumping off, I started mining wood, but the Nautilus began to run away. I got back on and realized this was going to be an impossible 100 days. So here's the rules. During these 100 days, one of these things have to always be true. Either the Nautilus stays attached to me with a lead, or I stay within 5 blocks of him. If neither is true, the challenge is over. And of course, the challenge is over if either one of us dies. Okay, so sitting on him, it takes forever. I'm gonna have to get off of him. I decided to jump off and see if I could get a piece of wood before the Nautilus suffocates. Getting off the Nautilus, I stood in the grass. Mining was a lot faster, but the Nautilus was dying. Since I can't access my individual crafting box, I jump off the Nautilus and make a crafting table. Using planks and sticks, I craft a wooden spear. Let's try this out, see how this works. We should be able to get some fish. Use the little boost. Okay, that actually worked. Okay, this works pretty good. Just use the boost. It's got 2, I think. Okay, so the spearfishing is actually kind of easy. Now he's still low on hearts, so what we can do is take him out of the water for a second so he doesn't run away. Feed him the fish. Okay, so now he's full health. Fighting a drowned, it was clear my wooden spear wasn't good enough. After multiple attempts, I finally killed him. Okay, one more shot. Yeah. Knowing that things would be a lot easier if I craft a lead, I went hunting for string. But it became clear I needed a sword or a better spear. Day 2, I trapped the Nautilus so I could quickly mine some stone. I tried getting more wood, and once again, the Nautilus almost died. I know he'll swim away, so I have to put him somewhere that he can't swim away. This might work for now. I upgraded to stone tools and a stone sword. After collecting more wood, I made a stone spear. Now that I had a pickaxe, it was time to get coal and iron. Since I don't have a lead, mining was going to be slow. It was getting dark. Using the cobble, I crafted a furnace and began smelting the iron. Then I quickly crafted an iron spear. After the iron was done, I cooked myself a salmon dinner. It was time to collect some resources, especially string. It seemed like every time I fought a mob, a drowned would get in my way. A trident guy gave damage to both me and the Nautilus. After healing up, we tried again. Day 3, using the string, I crafted a lead. I attached the lead to the Nautilus so he wouldn't run away. Okay, this is so much easier now. But I was about to realize the limit of the lead. Then I mined iron and coal while the Nautilus swam on the lead. While the iron smelted, I went hunting. As part of my plan to get a bed, I crafted a bucket and some shears. I realized that the Nautilus can stay positioned in flowing water. This could be an advantage. Like, the water is not even pushing me. This is pretty cool. I could be like right here on the side, I could be on the top. Like, I can just stay right here, not be pushed off. With this new information, I began to climb. Not seeing even one sheep, I retreated back to the lake. I began climbing up other areas in search of wool. I found some seeds, but still no sheep. Okay, I see sheep. Now can I get up there and shear one of them? Finally, I was able to craft a bed. Kelp was everywhere, so wanting to save my coal supply, I mined kelp to use as my ongoing fuel source. Once I had 9 dried kelp, I crafted a kelp block and started using it as fuel to cook more kelp. Day 4. It was a new day, and I had an idea for mining underwater. I put down a door, jumped off the Nautilus, attached the lead to the Nautilus, and then freely mined next to the door. As always, annoying drowns got in my way. My door technique was working fairly well. I went into an underwater cave searching for iron. I did find iron, but also found something unexpected. Diamonds. There's actually diamonds down here. I placed down a door, got into position in front of the diamonds, and realized I didn't have an iron pickaxe. Back at base, I smelted the iron. While it was smelting, I went hunting and mined more iron nearby. Finally, I crafted my first iron pickaxe. To finish out the day, I collected the underwater diamonds. Day 5. I crafted a diamond chestplate and used the last diamond to make a diamond spear. I water climbed to get more iron. Once I was up there, it was easier to just make an infinite water source to store the Nautilus while I mined. I was testing out my new diamond spear when I found a village. That means we got a goal. Here are the other goals. Make a really cool base, achieve Hero of the Village, kill all Elder Guardians at an ocean monument, loot a desert temple, and go mining underground. I know some of these seem impossible while I'm with the Nautilus, but we'll see how many we can get. After collecting some seeds and some wheat, I decided to annoy the iron golem. Now that Mr. Grumpy was gone, I collected lots of hay bales and looted the village. I crafted an iron helmet, leggings, and boots. I crafted the hay bales into wheat and the wheat into bread. Day 6 and 7. It was day 6-7, so I took a break and AFK'd. Day 8. So I have a stack of food and full armor. I heal the Nautilus and decide to name him Carl. As I collected dirt, Carl followed me along the waterline. Day 9. Since Carl is fast in the water, I thought a smart crop to grow would be a sugarcane farm. We worked through the night, but eventually ran out of dirt. Day 10. Carl and I collect some more dirt. We also create more kelp blocks for fuel. I made yet another stone shovel and got more dirt. Mobs began to spawn on my farm, so Carl suggested that we light it up. Carl was proving to be very effective in the water. This footage is not sped up. This is actually how fast he travels sideways. While making more torches, we were ambushed by a spider, so we introduced him to our diamond spear. We made lots of progress, but had an unexpected guest. Come under water? My armor was helping a lot, so I tried to finish with the torches. But the phantoms were getting a bit annoying. It was time to show the phantoms my diamond spear. I quickly headed to my bed to reset the day. Oh. No, skeleton's blocking the bed. The skeleton's guarding the bed, so I can't even sleep. Day 11. Watching the phantoms burn in the distance, I realized we should probably build a safe base. But first, we plant sugarcane. Of course, a couple of drowns wanted to sell us timeshares. Carl and I start collecting resources for a safe base. Before we could start building, we need a water scaffolding. If you're wondering why you've never heard of that before, it's because I just now made it up. The water scaffolding should work well because Carl has the amazing ability to sit still on flowing water. Since I am well within 5 blocks of Carl, I can freely walk around my new base. You'd think now we'd get the really cool base award, but we don't. We're gonna have to make some improvements later. Day 12, we harvest and plant more sugarcane. While Carl takes a nap, I add some finishing touches to the base. For the very first time, I can unload my extra stuff into a chest. We collect some wood and build a roof. Now we have a safe base. Day 13. After Carl and I had breakfast, we decided to harvest and plant more sugarcane. Then we hunted underneath the farm. That way we could get stocked up on food while the farm is growing above. Day 14. Had a busy morning. We worked on the sugarcane farm, mined some coal, and placed torches. Then we planted a sapling. We went back to base to get some bones and used the bone meal to grow the tree. After the leaves dropped saplings, we planted a few more. Day 15. Our world needs an upgrade. It's time to build a villager trading hall, but it can't be an ordinary trading hall. It has to be able to hold villagers safely and also be accessible for Carl. Okay, so this is the trading hall. It's hopefully this works. I'm not sure if it will. And then to get in, we're going to jump in. Then to get out, we can just jump out. Day 16, we gathered wood from the tree farm, and Carl helped me reach any logs that were too high. We planted more saplings and then harvested the sugarcane. As usual, my work was interrupted by 2 annoying drowns. Thanks to Carl, we didn't lose any time. He helps me plant really quickly. Then we decided to capture 2 sheep to start a sheep farm. Once we had a water flow to the top, the rest was pretty easy. We let the sheep water ski and then we dropped them off at a place we call Sheep Island. Using some wheat, it resulted in the first baby sheep to live on Sheep Island. It was apparent that we had an opportunity to use our diamond spear. Day 17. After breakfast, we left the base, harvested sugarcane, and expanded the farm. After feeding the sheep and collecting wool, we crafted our very first bed for the trading hall. I realized that the sheep will never grow more wool unless they have grass, so we collect some more dirt and try to make an extension to the island. We spent the rest of day 18 literally watching grass grow. Day 19. I decided it would be better if I moved the sheep to the new grass area. Since the sheep love to water ski, they didn't complain. You can tell they really love it. I designed it so the Nautilus could swim under the fence and we can easily collect the wool. What's nice is when I'm on the Nautilus, I can phase through this fence. Day 20. We made and placed more beds in the trading hall. Then we harvested a lot of sugarcane and replanted all of it. Our farm is done. Now we can craft tons of paper for trading. Day 21. We sheared the sheep and made more beds for the trading hall. It was time to get villagers. We were trying to figure out the best strategy for getting a villager into a boat when this happened. But the other villager wasn't as cooperative. We towed the boat to the other side to flush him out. I transported the prisoners to Alcatraz. I chauffeured the guests to their new home. I crafted a composter to create a farmer who should one day sell me golden carrots. That's called foreshadowing. Day 22. Going back to the village, I stole the grindstone. While I was there, I looted another house, got some emeralds, and also grabbed a watermelon. Before I left, I also found a brewing stand. After giving bread to the villagers, Carl and I mined all the trees in our tree farm and then replanted the saplings. Day 23. Carl and I collected resources for the trading hall. While the iron smelted, I let Carl play in his cage. I let him play in his fun, cozy room. I also smelted cobble into stone and stone into smooth stone. Using the new resources, I crafted a smithing table, fletching table, and a blast furnace. I sheared the sheep and placed more beds. Day 24. Once again, we harvested sugarcane. So far, I got about a stack of sugarcane, and I've got a lot more to harvest. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them in this chest over here, so it's easy to do the trading. Okay, I've already unloaded some stuff in the chest, and now I'm just collecting the stuff that fell in the water. Okay, so it took a little bit of a while to get every bit, and actually, as I was collecting the last bit, some were despawning. So one harvest gets us about that many, and maybe more if I can go a little faster. Day 25. I crafted the sugarcane into paper, then added leather to make books, then added wood to make a bookshelf. Then I added planks to the bookshelf to craft a lectern. But we want a lot of librarians to buy our paper, so we need more lecterns, which means more bookshelves, which means more books, which means more leather, which means we need cows. After renaming Sheep Island to Cow Island, we populated it with 4 happy cows. Then we fed the cows to produce 2 baby cows. Day 26. After feeding the sheep and placing more beds, we went looking for coal. Near the end of the day, we visited Cow Island and fed them more wheat. Day 27. The tree farm was ready to harvest, so we cut down all the trees and replanted the dropped saplings. Day 28. I hoped trading with the villagers would encourage them to breed. Visiting Cow Island, we fed them more wheat. Realizing I was running low on wheat, I converted part of the tree farm into a small wheat farm. Then I made a new section so we would have plenty of room to expand. Finally, the villagers began to breed and we got our very first baby villager. After shearing the sheep and feeding the cows, I saw the villagers breeding again. For days now, I've been trying to move the sheep to a better location, but the grass is progressing very slowly. We finally added the last bed to the trading hall. Day 30, we watched the baby villagers play as they grow up. Day 31, while the villagers continued to breed, I went back to the base and discovered that I had extra seeds this whole time. I add them to the new wheat farm. I also planted some watermelon seeds. Once again, we visit Cow Island. Day 32. Checking on the trading hall, we discovered that a golem spawned. The golem couldn't reach us, but Carl was suffocating. Another golem immediately spawned, which made me consider building an iron farm. Back at base, I healed Carl. We spent the rest of the day mining cobble. Before bedtime, we started the iron farm. Day 33. We did some more work on the iron farm. I created a temporary infinite water source to give Carl a place to stay and so I could build faster. By day 35, we were making good progress on the iron farm, but it was taking me way longer than I wanted due to the limitation of the Nautilus. But now it was time for the part that Carl was actually good at, the water flow. We traveled back to the village to grab some lava. To despawn the iron farm, Carl and I collect granite. Day 36. We sheared the sheep and used carpet to despawn the trading hall. Then we harvested wheat and planted even more to expand the wheat farm. Once again, we fed the cows and then enjoyed the sunset on Cow Island. Day 37. It was time to collect some leather. Then I realized I needed 3 more lecterns, which means another visit to Cow Island. We rested well knowing that the trading hall and iron farm was now complete. Day 38. The morning started with an unexpected surprise.
We got a first iron golem right here in the morning.
Now that the iron farm works, we took down the water scaffolding. After realizing that I was holding nearly a stack of raw beef, I cooked it to upgrade to the new food source. While I was cooking, I turned wheat into bread and also removed the unwanted iron golem from the trading hall. Day 39. Some of the wheat crop wasn't fully mature, but I needed bread to breed more villagers. We found a golem in the trading hall and realized we needed to do even more despawning. Once again, I purged the trading hall of the golem. Day 40. For breakfast, Carl had raw cod and I ate steak. It was time to upgrade the villagers. Here's the plan. I used the sugarcane to make paper, to sell the paper for emeralds, then I used the emeralds to upgrade everyone else. Day 41. Last night I saw another golem spawn inside the trading hall, so I made some adjustments. After harvesting and planting more wheat, we gave the villagers more bread. Day 42, we harvested and collected another batch of sugarcane. Day 43, we spent the entire day upgrading villagers. To upgrade the toolsmith, I purchased a Silk Touch pickaxe. Day 44, I bought an Efficiency 2 axe, which I used to quickly cut down all the trees in the tree farm. I crafted the wood into sticks to upgrade the Fletcher. Day 45, the trading isn't very efficient. I need to be the hero of the village. I purchase a new bow and apply an infinity book. After making an iron sword, I made a new bed so I can skip the night during our journey. To make it easier for Carl to travel, I made extra buckets. Day 46, we began our journey. On the way, we found a broken portal. The most helpful item was a golden apple and a helmet with aqua affinity, so I could mine underwater. Not too far ahead, we found a shipwreck. After searching for the chest, I realized it was right in front of me the entire time. It had a diamond and some iron. I equipped myself with the aqua affinity helmet and we continued our journey. After noticing some pumpkins, we collect them. At night, we sleep on a sandy shore. Day 47, found another broken portal which got us some boots with thorns 3. Since we're headed into battle, that could come in handy. I'm pretty sure that way up there, way over there, is the outpost. The question is, how can I get up there? After seeing the layout, I retreated and decided to come up a different side. Halfway up, I created an infinite water source to refill my buckets. Since Carl can easily swim on top of flowing water, my strategy was to make tall water flows to have the high ground advantage. At a high point, we made a small base with an infinite water source. Then we decided to return to the river to collect more blocks so we could bridge to the outpost. Now, you might think I'm being too cautious here, but Carl is very weak outside of water. If he dies, the challenge is over. Day 48, it's time to take over the outpost. To claim the structure as our own, we created an infinite water source on top of the outpost. After refilling my buckets, we began the invasion by flooding the outpost inside and out. Traveling down the water flow, we entered the outpost. The chest didn't have much, but we were here for something else. After destroying the floor, we descended to the next level. We cautiously continued downward. We began to engage the pillagers. It was clear that the water gave us a big advantage, not to mention the Thorns 3. We made it to the final level. It was time to get what we came here for. We found the banner guy. This was our chance. Okay, so I got an ominous bottle, Bad Omen 4. Having achieved our mission, we left the outpost and headed home. Day 49. On the way back home, we passed a beehive and decided to use the Silk Touch pickaxe to retrieve it. Then we made a slight detour to collect resources from the ocean. We found a treasure map and copper armor for Carl, but we weren't alone. I gave Carl his armor just in time to face an enemy. After killing the trident guy, we thought we were safe until the zombie Nautilus attacked Carl.
The zombie's killing Carl.
With Carl wounded, the zombie Nautilus closed in to finish the job.
Oh, half a heart.
After healing Carl, we collected some sea pickles. Day 50. After Carl said hi to a camel, we went looking for treasure. After my shovel broke, I kept digging with my hand. Diamond Nautilus armor. I put diamond armor on Carl, wishing that we had this armor earlier. Then we came to a desert temple. I really didn't want to go in, but Carl insisted. After breaking the floor, we descended toward the chests. The loot was a bit disappointing, but we did take some items. That means we got a goal. After a long journey home, we arrived at the end of day 51. It was so good to return to base and sleep in our own bed. Day 52. It was time to prepare for a raid. I collected dirt and sealed up the trading hall for their protection. After creating dirt platforms, I prepared golems to help in the battle.
So hopefully these platforms will work, that they'll spawn there, and then this golem will take them out, and this golem will take out any that spawn here.
We light up the area under the trading hall to prevent drowns from spawning and annoying us during the raid. And before going to bed, I crafted a shield. Day 53. I activate the golems and start the raid. My plan had failed. The platforms were way too close to the villagers to spawn any raiders. All was quiet. Then suddenly, I saw a pillager in the distance.
Way over there.
I joined Carl and we headed into battle. Killing pillagers from underwater was OP. Some pillagers spawned on Cow Island. Guess that's where I should have built the golem. Things were going good. That is, until the Evoker and Vexes showed up. I had enough of the Vexes. I introduced them to my diamond spear. Then it was the Evoker's turn. I quickly grabbed the totem and finished the raid. That means we got a goal. As the sun began to go down, I harvested sugarcane. Day 54, I traded with the villagers. Everything was discounted and they kept throwing random junk at me.
They're literally throwing axes at me. These are like presents from them.
I upgraded to a diamond axe, diamond armor, diamond sword, and pickaxe. They've been throwing me free books, and now I can get mending, a whole bunch of mending for only 8 emeralds. So I just put sharpness 3 and mending on this diamond spear. Day 55. I cleaned up the dirt platforms and removed dirt from the trading hall. Then I moved the sheep to a new location and fed them wheat. Day 56. It was my intention to travel back to the outpost, but on my way there I went a different route and found a closer one.
Oh, here we go. They're like really close to the water on this side. I just need a guy with a banner.
I kept fighting pillagers until finally the dude with the banner showed up.
Got it. During the last raid, I thought they would spawn on top, but I think they can't spawn that close. All of them were spawning right over here. This is where I'm going to build a trap. Okay, so I built some scaffolding so I can kind of taunt the bad guys and get them to fall in the trap. I call this water scaffolding anyway. So I can easily glide on this. They should walk right into this trap and then end up in the lava that eventually will be there. Okay, I'm gonna borrow this lava from the iron farm just for a bit.
We spent the rest of the day slabbing Cow Island so pillagers won't spawn here during the raid. Day 59. This time I'm gonna be smart and collect the sugarcane before I get Hero of the Village. Day 60. I drink the ominous bottle to trigger another raid.
We got one.
The trap wasn't working as good as I wanted, but it was helping.
Okay, so both of these witches are healing themselves. That's not even fair. Oh, okay. Alright.
Having been poisoned, we raced the Cow Island. I was close to being done when the evoker spawned his annoying Vexes.
Uh-oh. These guys again.
Wasting no time, I took out the evoker. After the final kill, I was once again Hero of the Village. I traded all the paper I had, which resulted in lots of emeralds. Day 61. I focused on upgrading the farmer so I could have a better food source. Finally, I had the best food you can have, golden carrots. Day 62. I upgraded the cleric and the Fletcher. I upgraded my bow to power 3 unbreaking 2. Day 63. I now have a power 4 unbreaking 3 infinity bow.
Because I removed the lava a while back, I've got 2 golems just waiting there to die. Well, they're kind of in the way.
After watching more golems die, I upgraded the torches in my base to lanterns that I bought from the villagers. Day 64. Carl and I spent the day replenishing our fish supply to save for Carl's emergency healing. Day 65. Since Carl had never done it before, he asked if we could go mining. I told him it'd be dangerous, but he didn't care, so I led him to a nearby cave.
Oh, there's a mine shaft.
Dropping down into the cave, we were immediately attacked.
Okay, we're already getting shot at.
Of course, I kept accidentally suffocating myself. I made an infinite water source to refill my buckets. I told Carl I'd be more comfortable if we had extra buckets, so we retreated and made some more. Returning to the cave, we cautiously landed on the mineshaft and began to explore. We placed water ahead and luckily it blocked a creeper. I keep taking suffocation damage because I'm too tall when I'm on Carl. We slowly peek around the corner to see a skeleton guarding a minecart chest. The chest has nothing we need except for an extra golden apple. I made another infinite water source to refill the buckets.
Another minecart.
After killing another creeper, we mined iron and coal. Once again, we made an infinite water checkpoint. We kept exploring and found another chest. It had an item we would definitely be using in the future.
Oh, name tag.
Carl told me he had enough fun for one day and wanted to go home, so we turned around and went back to base. That means we got a goal. Day 66. After feeding Carl breakfast, we worked on the wheat farm and then fed the cows and the sheep. Tonight, Carl told me that his family used to have sponges and gold that were stolen by the Guardians.
Oh, creeper.
As part of a plan to get Carl's property back,
Here.
we started collecting gunpowder.
There we go.
Day 67. During the day, we did absolutely nothing because it was day 67. But when it got dark, we continued to collect gunpowder.
There's actually a guy up here. Of course, there's no lava. And it goes in the collection chest. Oh no. Nope. There we go.
Day 68. During the day, we collect lots of sand, and at night, we kill more mobs. Day 69. We made some TNT, collected extra milk, and headed toward the ocean monument. The last time we traveled to an outpost, I'm pretty sure I saw an ocean monument in the distance. Although we spent the rest of the day traveling, Carl is so fast, we made great time.
Okay, I found it, but since it's nighttime, I think I'm gonna go set up a small base.
Day 70. We were both scared, but we had to move forward with the plan.
My armor is not holding up to these guardians. Alright, well, made a little hole.
Since both Carl and I had to fit into an opening, it made more sense to change our strategy to a frontal assault. Our new plan was to go straight through the front door. We had breached the monument, but we still had to kill the 3 Elder Guardians. The pathways were small, so suffocation was adding to my damage, and I couldn't mine blocks due to mining fatigue. I felt that quickly boosting through doorways was the best option for minimal damage. Noticing that the Elder Guardian's tail was behind a wall, we decided to use TNT. But some Guardians realized what we were up to and intervened. To break their line of sight, we retreated. Finally, we located the Elder Guardian. The first Guardian was down. It was time to take out the other 2. This time we were going to be a bit more aggressive. With only 1 Elder Guardian remaining, I decided to spear him in the eye. That means we got a goal. I drank the milk so I could now mine the gold. The Guardians were not happy that we were taking their gold, but we took it anyway. And then a few minutes later, we found the sponge room. I really should have brought something better to mine the sponges with, but eventually we did collect all the sponges. We also mined a bunch of prismarine blocks. Going back to the entrance, we made our escape. We had done it. Now that we were no longer squished in the small hallways, we took our revenge on the Guardians. Day 71. We headed back to base. Day 72. Started the day off annoying a nearby golem. Using the gold blocks from the ocean monument, I traded gold with the cleric. And it rained. A lot. Day 73. Carl and I went exploring. We found an area with a sunken ship and ancient ocean treasure. Ooh. Mending fishing rod. I don't know if that's helpful or not. We'll just take that. Oh, Heart of the Sea. We could use that. Alright. More coal. Oh, you know what? This dude's got a Nautilus shell. We could use that with the Heart of the Sea. After finding another Nautilus shell, we explored a cave and decided to leave. Day 74. I gather all Nautilus shells that I can find. Alright, I know I've got more Nautilus shells than this. Yeah, I got 5 here. So that gives me 7. I think I need 8, right? Realizing I only needed 1 more shell to create a conduit, we went hunting. Unfortunately, our hunt led us to a zombie Nautilus. While riding the Nautilus, the zombie started suffocating, which I totally understood his pain. He's stuck in the sugar cane. We continued our search and found the final shell. Day 75. I crafted a conduit and bought glass from the librarian. Then we started to build a base that Carl would love. A water base. Day 76. We surrounded the conduit with prismarine. Thanks to the conduit, I can breathe underwater. This base allows both Carl and I to swim freely away from each other while still maintaining a close distance. As an experiment, I wanted to see if I could sleep in the bed to reset the day, and it actually worked. You'd think now we'd get the really cool base award, but we don't. So I guess my base just isn't cool enough. This time, let's build something epic. I spend days 77 to 80 traveling to the Badlands and collecting terracotta. The next couple weeks, I collected sand, gravel, bones from skeletons, and bone meal from fish. I gathered flowers, ink sacs, and glow ink sacs. Then I created different colors of concrete. Then we started building the new base. It took a bit of time, but it was starting to look really good. Day 98. The base is done. And there it is. There's the new base. We even had a Nautilus swimming in front of it. He likes it. What's cool about this entrance is that the water's flowing out, so it can keep mobs from coming in. But of course, Carl can easily navigate through here. Here I can easily access any chest or barrel and still be near Carl. And if Carl gets hungry, I can just jump over there. That means we got a goal. Day 99. We fill buckets with milk as part of our quest to find pufferfish. Oh, okay. Oh, he's mad. Oh, we just got poisoned. Okay, I've got 9. Just to be safe, I'm gonna get 1 more pufferfish. There we go. We did it. We survived 100 days, but there's still one more thing we need to do. Carl now had a family, and that makes our journey a success. Family is the most important thing in the world, in Minecraft and in real life. Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel.